Let's go ahead and take ourselves over here to the bean field. So it is a little early in the morning, so I am expecting the beans to be a little wet. It is kind of, I don't know why it's so dark. It's like only 8:07 in the morning. Let's go ahead and kind of walk in here a little bit. So right now, crop type soybeans are ready to harvest, but they do feel a little damp this morning. Moisture, we did have a little bit of dew on the grass when I woke up. I was up around 6 o'clock, made myself a pot of coffee, and I was kind of trying to mentally prepare myself for today. But it is my favorite time of the year, so this now officially marks a full 2 years that we've been here on this farm. It is November, it's 8:09 in the morning, and we have $22,997 in the bank account. And I think what I'm going to do this morning, just to kill some time, let's get on our International 70. And I'm going to start making my way to the cattle barn because we need to get our cattle fed this morning. I'm pretty sure they're probably pretty hungry. They haven't made any milk though in like quite a while, so I don't know what's up with that. I'll try to figure that out. Maybe get a vet out here, see what I have to pay for that. I mean, we still have a little bit of money left in the bank, but I also still have that $60,000 loan. If you guys can remember that, I still need to get paid off, and it's kind of I pay like $300 every month in interest on it. It's not too bad for right now, but I haven't paid any of the loan off yet. I'm going to start paying it off here soon once harvest is complete. But if we don't do well on this harvest, I might have to honestly try to get this farm sold. We do have that other farm that we bought, but I don't think that this farm is going to be a good asset for us to have. It's going to be one of the reasons why we don't make that much money. So in the process, I got off the phone with actually a ranch that's down here in the region. They said that they were looking for a decent amount of bales, and I have some actually that I need to get sold. So we're gonna get that taken care of. So I got the loader attachment put on the International. Once that was complete, I headed over to my bale stack and began putting the first set of bales onto the trailer. And eventually, the last bale was loaded up on the trailer, and we got in our pickup and started heading to the ranch. And eventually, I arrived at the Mossy Pine Ranch. And after getting the bales all offloaded, it was time to head back to our farm. Well, now that it's currently around 10 o'clock, so I got about $14,000 out of those bales that I sold. Hold on, I almost completely missed my header here, but I made about $14,500 from them bales, so we're sitting at $37,752. And the beans should be dried out now. I give them enough time, a couple hours, so we should be able to go through and start getting some headland passes done here in a second once I get pulled over. And we should be able to hopefully get a good yield out of this field as I went through and actually like took care of it this time. So let's go ahead and get the header started up, drop down, and we're going to make a little cut here just to open up the field so I have enough room to kind of get my truck here on the edge of the field. And I went through and actually we are going to debut the Minneapolis Moline that is hooked up to our gravity wagons. So I'm going to have the grain truck as well as the two gravity wagons to take all the soybeans out of this field, and hopefully we should have just enough to get all of them filled up. And then I can get them taken one by one to the co-op, and then we can get them all sold. And after getting a couple passes done here on the field, so we got this side two passes done here, and then I also got two passes done on the far side of the field, and yields are not looking that good. We are sitting about 98.2 bushels to the acre, and I'm not seeing too much hope out of this field. I'm hoping it can get me out of debt, but we're going to get unloaded here really quick because I didn't have that much in. And then I'm going to go ahead and get in, and I'm just going to make about a 10-degree cut just at a random location, just kind of like right here. So let's get ourselves kind of over. Now, the reason that the soybean harvest kind of means a lot. Now, I get that I do have canola in that other field as well, but I cannot just base my entire reputation of this farm just on that canola field. I get that it could probably save me, but without getting a good soybean harvest this year, I don't know if this farm will succeed. And right now, based on these yields, it's not looking too good. Well, I managed to get like 3/4 of the field already done, or maybe a little over half. Not quite yet, 3/4. And we finally got the grain tank full on the combine, so we're going to get this unloaded here into our grain truck. We're still getting around 98.1 bushels to the acre, so I guess this field's not going to be yielding quite as good as I thought it was going to be, but it is better than nothing. Let's get back into getting some more cuts down here, and hopefully we can get this field finished in a pretty decent time. And while I wait for the last 70 bushels of soybeans to unload, I'm going to bring up the tablet here real quick. So as you can see, I have 4 sell points for soybeans, and right now the highest buyer is BW Feed and Seed Ltd at $47.73, and I think that is per 1,000 liters. I'm not too sure. I also have the Green Mountain, but in order to do that one, I have to rent the train, and that's going to cost me a little bit more money. I really don't want to do that, so I think what we're going to do is go with BW Feed and Seed. And now the combine's unloaded, we can go ahead and get the auger folded back in, and then I'm going to go ahead and probably get this thing parked off, get the header. Well, I'm going to get the header detached first, and then I'm going to get the combine parked in the shed. So in total for our entire field of soybeans, we got just over, I think, 530 bushels. So that is not too impressive, but for the field size and I guess the yield that we were going at, I'm kind of okay with it. I still have a little bit in the gravity wagons back there hooked up to the Minneapolis Moline. So once I get this truck dumped, I will let you guys know our total, and we will see what the future of the farm has in hand after this soybean harvest. So we're just getting ready to unload the gravity wagon here, and we had 111 bushels in this gravity wagon, and I had a little over 400 bushels in the grain truck, and the grain truck brought us about $20,700, and it looks like this gravity wagon is bringing us $5,362 or $5,326. So bringing our total amount in our bank account to $63,287. And now that soybean harvest is out of the way, what better time to get ahead of the game before next planting season? We're going to get ourselves backed up to our cultivator here. So this is our Ford 20-foot cultivator that I just got not too long ago, a couple months ago at the dealership. I bought it just because I thought it was kind of cool and it would switch up things around the farm. Plus, I think it is just kind of like a nice blue. But let's go ahead here and go into my banking app, and as you can see, I have currently a negative $60,000 loan in my account, and I think what we're going to go do after today is we're going to go through and get half of that paid, and I accidentally borrowed $15,000, so let's pay that back real quick. So we'll bring it down back to 60, and then we will take my loan all the way down to, I think I could sit comfortably with $30,000 left to pay, with a balance of $33,000. So we still have several months until canola harvest is ready to pop off, but once we get that completed, I think we should have enough money to be able to pay the rest of the loan back to the bank. And I don't think that we will have to sell the farm, but if canola harvest does fail, this part of the farm will no longer be. I will have to probably go through and sell the cattle and possibly sell the buildings and then sell the land back to the bank from where I bought it. But if all else fails, we still have hope on the other farm. I will have the opportunity to be able to get some cattle over there, as well as the 2 fields that we went through and got plowed the other day. Well, actually about a month ago when we went through and did those. But I still have to be able to afford seed. So probably tomorrow I will probably go through and get some hay done as well, get that sold, and possibly get some more square bales for the cattle as I'm running low on those. But for right now, the main focus is to get this field fully cultivated and make sure that we have a good seed bed for our next crop. But like always, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe.